Gurmagad Ceann Comhairle. Taoiseach, the Rehab Group is in receipt of in excess of €83 million of public funds, and the group and its enterprises enjoys the benefits of charitable status in this state. Last week, Angela Kerins, the current CEO of Rehab, appeared before the Public Accounts Committee. At that meeting, she refused to reveal details of the pay levels of senior executives within Rehab. When she was pressed, she made a commitment that within the following days of the meeting that she would in fact put that information on the public record. We find ourselves a week on and Ms Kerins still has failed and Rehab has failed to make that information public. In the course of the same week, I myself have had much correspondence. One piece of correspondence came from a young woman who is on a rehabilitative training programme of Rehab. She had no difficulty sending to me her pay slip. I have it here with me in the chamber. This young person receives an income of €31.80 per week. She has deducted from it travel expenses of €15. And as her pay slip that I have in front of me reflects, her net income is €16.80. This person had no difficulty and has no difficulty with their income being publicly known. So can I ask you, Taoiseach, to join with me and with the Public Accounts Committee in insisting that Rehab and Angela Kerins make public full information in respect of the payments to their senior executives. At the meeting last week, Taoiseach, Mr Frank Flannery, a former CEO and acting member of the board of Rehab, was invited to attend the meeting. He didn't show up. Mr Flannery will be invited again to attend the Public Accounts Committee and to make himself available to give us the information and answer the questions that we have. So can I ask you, Taoiseach, to join with me, the Public Accounts Committee, indeed the Taoiseach, in saying to Mr Flannery that he should attend the Public Accounts Committee at the earliest possible opportunity.
Thank you, Taoiseach. First of all, I have no hesitation at all in saying that the pay of senior executives in Rehab and indeed in any other organisation that is funded by the state through the HSE should be made public. Indeed, the government's, I suppose in a way, why we are discussing this issue is because the government took an initiative on this. The Minister for Health, conscious of the fact that a large number of organisations receive substantial amounts of state funding for the delivery of services, conscious also of the policy that the government has pursued generally in respect of public service pay, undertook an audit of the Section 38 and Section 39 organisations, which is what has put this issue on the agenda in the first place. And yes, I do believe that the pay of senior executives in organisations like Rehab should be publicly available. I think if they're in receipt of state funding, why not? Secondly, in respect of the invitation to Mr Flannery to attend the Public Accounts Committee, I believe he should attend the Public Accounts Committee, and I would encourage him to do so.
Lou McDonald.
Thank you for those responses, Taoiseach. Then I think it's very clear at this stage that members of the Dáil, indeed members of the Oireachtas, are of one mind on this issue, whether we are on government or opposition benches. And we are all absolutely insistent at this stage that full details in respect of payments to Rehab executives must be made public without any further delay. And I very much welcome the fact, Taoiseach, that you, along with members of our committee, are sending that message on behalf of the Oireachtas and on behalf of the government to the current CEO, to the former CEO, and indeed to the entirety of Rehab. I hope that they will respond in kind. We've been faced with a situation where an organisation in receipt of very substantial public monies and enjoying charitable status has thumbed its nose at the general public, at its volunteers, at its donors. I very much hope that those same people will not show the same disregard to the government of this state, to the elected members of this House. And I hope that Ms Kerins very speedily and her colleagues in Rehab will finally and fully disclose the pay rates of senior executives. In relation to Mr Flannery, Taoiseach, can I ask you, because you've made your position clear and we are of one mind on this issue also, Mr Flannery must appear before the Public Accounts Committee. He has an absolute obligation to do so. Can I ask you, Taoiseach, that you will make that known to the Taoiseach and your Cabinet colleagues, and if necessary, that you will make direct contact with Mr Flannery? I hope that that won't be necessary, but in the event that it is, given the seriousness of this situation and given the track record of this organisation in disregarding any form of public accountability, I would like to think that should it prove necessary, that neither you, Taoiseach, nor the Taoiseach will shy away from having that conversation and correspondence with Mr Flannery.
Well, I think first of all, I think there are two issues here. First of all, there's the, I think, obligation that organisations that are receiving substantial taxpayers' money from the state for the delivery of service have to be fully transparent and accountable. And I believe that that should be the case. Secondly, I think that there is also the issue of the very good work that organisations like Rehab do, many of the other charities that have been in the public domain in respect of issues around salaries and all of that over the past number of months. And I think that there is an obligation to the volunteers who work for those organisations, an obligation, I think, to the people who rely on them for services, and indeed I think also an obligation to the many people who contribute very generously to the charities concerned, that they should have the full information about where the money goes, about levels of payment and so on, and therefore I believe that that information should be made available. I know that the Taoiseach has already expressed his view in relation to Mr Flannery's attention at or attendance at the Public Accounts Committee. It is obviously for the Public Accounts Committee to pursue that with Mr Flannery. My view is very clear. He should attend, and I would encourage him to do so.
Deputy Donald.